React to LSF for the past 24 hours. No, thank you. I'm in a court case. I would be delighted not to do that.
That's weird, Mizkif, because that quote-unquote court case hasn't prevented you from saying or doing anything that you probably shouldn't be doing. It's the stream where Mizkif crashed out and divulged a bunch of information and said a lot of things that he shouldn't be saying. Mizkif has tried to do some very poor damage control. His quote-unquote damage control has done nothing but backfire on him miserably, and in today's video we're going to be going over the updates over the past week or so that you've probably missed out on. So grab your popcorn, put your feet up, subscribe if you want, it really helps out the channel, and watch the latest updates to do with Mizkif.
I talk to my lawyer every day, all day.
Look, I'll be damned, Mizkif has remembered that he's in an active lawsuit. But not enough to keep his mouth shut on stream or post more weird social media videos wheeling out his girlfriend and trying to get in on the jokes that people are making about him and his said accusation. Ladies and gentlemen, slot meal viewers, you know the drill by now. Let's dive into more Mizkif updates and see where we stand. Let's start this video with a bang by taking a look at his most recent social media post.
Hey guys, I'm Juice. And I want to say...
Like, don't you get it? Mizkif is getting involved in all the jokes people are making about him and his girlfriend and stuff, and, you know, about the situation. Isn't it really funny? Isn't Mizkif such a great boyfriend? When will people learn that when you're in a very serious situation, you're being accused of some pretty damn serious things, and people are making up random stuff about you, insulting you, then getting involved in on those said jokes where people are insulting you isn't a good look. It doesn't work. It makes you look pathetic and like you're trying to cling on to any sort of relevance and, you know, act a bit relatable.
I love Mizkif. He is fun. We have fun. He smells good. He's rich, but he did not pay me. I want to be here. Stay cool.
Especially when it is one to do with your girlfriend, when your accusations revolve around relationships and you are actively getting involved in a conversation and a joke that is based off the fact that you're clearly paying your girlfriend because you're wheeling her out here to make yourself look better in these said accusations about you being a bad partner. Getting involved in that said joke really doesn't work. It's genuinely mind-boggling why he's trying to go for this, outside of being a bit more relevant, which we will 100% get to later because this is something he directly mentioned when talking about doing these Instagram reels on his story when he was confronted about it. There really isn't a reason for him to be doing this. He would have much better luck trying to just move on from the situation outside of the lawsuit by just posting regular content. But talking about Mizkif's stream, let's see what he said on said stream.
Don't care, just want streams. I know, bro. I know. I know.
Going to be a bit of a presence with this video where Mizkif is very clearly sympathy baiting over the fact he can't just make regular content during this time, when ultimately you can. People are still going to come in your chat, ask the exact same questions, but the fact you're engaging with it is encouraging that behaviour, and the only reason you would particularly want to do that is for relevance, because you know it gets clipped up and it gets posted around, which is exactly what I think he's personally doing, as he basically admits it towards the end of this stream. What you've got to say is just fucking stupid. That old saying, all publicity is good publicity, is just flat out wrong. Publicity associated with your very, very serious accusations probably isn't that great regardless of the relevancy it brings you. Because definitely whilst in the short run his views are probably up and people are talking about him more than ever, ultimately when this situation fizzles out and the lawsuit is over, people would have distanced away from Mizkif.
How's the reels going? Dude, they're gonna get funnier, I promise you. The last one to me was like kind of like the one that like didn't really hit the most. I was like, period, good one. It's like kind of the same as the other one. But like this next few are gonna be are funny. I promise you. You're gonna like them. As a streamer viewer, you're gonna like it. They're stupid. I've been enjoying it though. It's nice to have a little creative outlet.
And he's trying to garner sympathy by saying, look, I can't really do anything at the moment because of the situation I'm currently in while streaming. You could literally be streaming anything. You don't have to sit there talking to your chat and talking basically about the accusations and how shit your life is. Nobody's forcing you to do this. I'm gonna be fucking shocked if you said that your lawyer was telling you that this would be a great look. It would be a better look if you were just getting on with your life and you were appearing more happy, upbeat. That would probably make you look better.
Offline numbers, bro, just stream already. You probably won't even lose that many viewers. Bro, you realize I'm more popular now than ever before? Everything I say gets clipped in and put everywhere, bro. I'm famous at this point. You realize that, right? My Instagram reels are doing better now than ever before. Fun fact.
Again, just like in a lot of the claims made about Mizkif, it all comes down to his own ego and viewers and numbers or whatever, regardless of the situation. He's been accused of some very serious things, and for the most part, what he is focusing on, publicly at least, is how many views and how popular he is getting, and he doesn't really care why that's for. Of course, I'm not totally naive. There is a bit of sarcasm sprinkled in there when he's discussing things like this and this situation at hand, but ultimately, the number aspect of this situation is still something he's clearly focusing on. It's something that he speaks about in this stream several times and in the other ones as well.
My Instagram's like, dude, what's going on with you? But you are killing it. And I'm like, yeah, I am. The numbers of those are going up, but the followers are going down. And I'm like, what? You don't like the period joke? Like, I thought it was funny. If it matters, but I'm not recommending all of those shitty drama channels on YouTube that talk about you. Thank you. I don't even know what they've possibly said about me, but I'm sure it's all fucking accurate.
Again, it's more of this whole cope about YouTube drama channels and commentary channels that are covering what Mizkif is doing. I find it funny because he's saying about, the accuracy of the coverage, but the large majority of the coverage at the moment about Mizkif all comes from stuff that he said on these streams, which is funny because basically he's calling what he's saying inaccurate. I'm sorry, Mizkif, but we all know you're lying. On your own YouTube account, there were videos that had been watched about your own drama. We know you blamed it on somebody else, but ultimately I don't think anybody's going to buy that. And on other social media comments, you are actively engaging with said comments that were parroting what people were saying in these videos. From how you've gone about all of this on streams and the things you publicly said, everybody knows that you know what people are saying online and in these videos. That's just a blatant lie and not something that you should even be responding to in the first place, because it just makes you look even worse.
Right. Like, I have no idea what they've said about me. No idea. And I can't care because I'm sure it's like, he poked someone's eye 2021, and it's like, they got a boo-boo. 12-minute video. It's like, I have no idea.
Again, it's this whole thing about people looking back at old clips of Mizkif and now talking about them. I'm sorry, but when you're in a situation like this where you've got serious accusations against you made by another fellow streamer who is basically saying that, this behavior is present in our relationship, and there's lots of clips of you two publicly out there, people are going to take a look back at said clips and see if any of that pattern of behavior that Emiru was describing is in said clips. That is just a normal thing. And then people are going to take a look at your other relationships that have been public. Again, these things are going to happen when you've been accused of very serious things publicly. Of course, some of the clips that people are pulling up of Mizkif that are old are just genuinely trying to score brownie points against him and mean absolutely nothing. They're just trying to get another point at Mizkif whilst he's down, and ultimately that stuff should be dismissed. But there are also some great old clips that are being resurfaced that do show the pattern of behavior that Emiru was accusing Mizkif of that I think are pretty important to take a look at. Mizkif just doesn't want people to take a look at that because it would confirm what Emiru is saying about him.
They're finding all these clips from years of me being, trying to use it to attack me from 6-7 years ago, right? You were there, so you're just as bad. It's your fault. You didn't stop me.
The last stream, he tried to make a similar point that people have been hanging on to these clips for ages, and why did they not criticize him then, and they've only just waited to criticize him now. But ultimately, these clips, people have a brand new lens on because of the new accusations that have been made against you. People are looking at them totally differently, and let's be realistic, some of the clips that have been circulating, people did call you out at the time for. Just now, with these accusations and with these claims that have been made against Mizkif, you're going to be taking a look at older clips with a brand new lens, with a brand new sight, because the pattern of behavior just becomes way more apparent. But be realistic, Mizkif is talking about these claims like they are a golden bullet to his reputation, like people are holding these up in very high regard. People aren't doing that, people are just taking a look at this because it confirms certain accusations Emiru made about your pattern of behavior and how you acted towards her. None of it is incredibly damning stuff, it just goes to prove some of the stuff that Emiru was saying about you.
Like, I know right now I'm entertaining half these people in my chat, who half these people were probably on live stream shitting on me relentlessly and saying I'm a horrible person and I deserve to be deplatformed. And here I am right now still trying to make them laugh. You want to know why? Because I'm mentally fucking... I'm just a genuinely dude. And I don't learn my lesson. How are you, chat? When are you coming out of hiding? Boo. See, you'll never go broke. You have a cameraman job lined up. If my mother could just fucking see me now.
Again, it's this whole poor me narrative, this whole sympathy baiting thing, just shrouded in jokes and sarcasm, when ultimately it just doesn't work. Nobody feels bad for this guy, nobody feels like, you know, he's being treated too harshly. Ultimately, he's made his bed, he has to lie in it. Let me be clear what I'm saying by this. It was his response that made the situation 10 times worse. It was always going to be a big situation, Emiru accusing Mizkif of something like this, but his own response made it bad. Him responding basically immediately was a bad call. He basically admitted to everything that Emiru had accused him of, bar a few differences and different claims that he then threw back at Emiru. Let's be clear about that. But he has now retroactively tried to go back and say that, look, the situation wasn't as bad as Emiru was making out, when ultimately he admitted to a large majority of the stuff that she claimed. His response wasn't well formulated, he put his foot in it entirely, and he got exposed for lying several times, and especially now with the whole lawsuit and how he's trying to act in the situation. He's not going to get any sympathy, he made the situation worse for himself.
Because they have to follow the narrative to hate Mizkif. It's a really good narrative. Like, I'm honestly thinking, low-key chat, I'm a pretty good villain. Instead of spamming W, put V's. Look, I'm actually low-key a fucking good villain.
Of course, there's a bit of herd mentality around when someone gets called out or allegations are thrown their way. We've seen it where people blindly believe things without even checking or looking into the situation themselves. But ultimately, there is a reason that 95% of the internet is going after you and has no sympathy for you. That's because of the things that you've actively admitted to, your own response, how you've dealt with the situation, and Emiru's accusations against you, and how good they actually hold up. And leaning into the whole villain thing when you've been accused of some very serious things just doesn't work.
Do you not have a paralegal in chat? Bro, I talk to my lawyer every day, all day. Him and I just do phone calls all day, every day. He also sees everything I post before I post it, by the way. And he's like, well, my team is like, bro, you are the GOAT, Miz. I'm like, I know. He's like, you're the fucking GOAT, bro. I'm like, all right, yeah, thank you, man, I appreciate it. By the way, that $20,000 you asked for, I sent it in immediately. He's like, you're the GOAT, Miz. Post whatever. And I'm like, all right, see you later, man.
Ultimately, his legal team definitely take a look at those social media posts, tell him if that's something he should be posting or not, but they can't prevent him from saying certain things on stream, as was made apparent from the stream the other day. And ultimately, they can advise him not to say certain things, but it's Mizkif, and ultimately that other stream has negatively impacted him massively. Let's not sit here and act like his talk about the accusations on the last stream and the things that he said and claimed and said about his community and things they should be doing isn't going to negatively impact him and won't affect the lawsuit whatsoever.
If a man does this to you, no, that's not what you do either.
Guys, have you seen how kind Mizkif is? He's even given advice to girls what to do when men grab them. Isn't he just such a caring and kind guy, right? Of course he is, ladies and gentlemen and sloppy viewers. In today's video, you know exactly the drill by now. We're going to be taking a look at Mizkif's latest stream and social media activity to see these weird attempts at trying to be relatable and garner back his audience. Firstly, of course, we're going to be taking a look at his social media posts because at the moment they've been pretty far and few in between, and this latest one is just genuinely hilarious.
But as I've learned, living alone as a 30-year-old man, it's been very healing. I've been cleaning everything myself.
Okay, do you want to fucking medal then? See, this is just another attempt at trying to be relatable, get his audience on side. Look at how much I'm improving. I'm cleaning. I am a regular person, guys.
Actually cleaning. Mopping the floors, wiping down the counters, scrubbing the bathroom, organizing drawers. And for the first time, it feels amazing. Every time I organize and clean my house, I feel more and more at ease in my own mind. I know it sounds dumb. I know for a lot of you guys are saying, dude, I've been cleaning my whole life. But to me, a selfish millionaire who's been having his ass wiped for the past 8 years.
Of course, there is a bit of satirical humor sprinkled in there. He's trying to be quote-unquote self-aware about the type of person that he is, trying to get involved in the audience's insults against him, but it just doesn't work in his situation. We're not dealing with just a regular situation here. He's had some big accusations leveled against him. He's taken it legal. There's only so much you can do in this situation to actually try and seem relatable without looking fake. This just looks incredibly fake and doesn't really work.
It makes me feel like I'm cleaning my own life too at the same time. I wake up and I actually want to make my bed. I want to clean my house. I'm excited for my little chores that I'm having to do. And it makes me hopeful in some ways because I feel like if I'm able to clean up this house, that I can continue to clean up my life too.
See guys, isn't he super relatable, and he's improving as a person? He's cleaning his house, so that must mean that he's cleaning his life up, right? Again, it's just another failed attempt to try and perceive himself as the person that is cleaning his life up and somebody who is this relatable, normal guy, even if it is veiled in some level of sarcasm, and it just really doesn't work. Okay, enough about the social media post. What has Mizkif been up to on stream? Well, let's take a look. The first thing that I noticed here is the fact that Mizkif's little friend is actively cucking the content, and what I mean by that is she is literally at times telling him to shut the fuck up when he's about to say something that is going to make him look like an utter piece of shit. Of course, the person in the stream is like a PR manager or whatever like that, is simply just a friend of Mizkif, but I do think on a certain level Mizkif and probably the people around him have realised that when he's streaming solo, he's got a tendency to vent and say things that he probably shouldn't, so having somebody there that will tell him to shut up, stop talking, is probably a good thing for him.
Do that again. Miz and Liam.
That's not what you should do. If a man does this to you, no, that's not what you do either. You freak him out. And you go for a kiss, then he gets scared and he runs away.
At a certain level, Mizkif definitely knows what he's doing by doing this type of stuff, that people are probably going to clip it up and talk about it, but ultimately, is it really the best look to engage in any type of behaviour like this, or talking about that behaviour of men?
Can you tell the chat that you enjoy hanging out with me?
I'm here for clout.
Worst streamer, and you're not streaming.
How do you know?
Because I'm not letting you stream.
I'm going to.
You're not.
It's set up already.
No, you're the one friend I have that's not leeching off me.
Dude, you won't. I won't be leeching off of you.
You're doing it right now. You're doing exactly what every girl has done. You said, I'm not going to leech off you, and then you just leech. Look what you're doing right now. Dude, you're taking from someone who has nothing. I have 500 viewers left. I used to have 50,000.
Now, I'm currently in two minds about this, because of course the first half of this clip, Mizkif is for sure playing into the whole joke that he is forcing his girlfriend and people into the content that he makes. The bit I'm personally in two minds about is the second half, when he makes a joke that his friend is leeching off of him, like all girls in his life have done, off of his relevance and success. And ultimately, whilst he might just be playing off the whole thing that Emiru was talking about when it comes to numbers and his obsession with that, it genuinely feels like there might be an underlining comment about people like Emiru and previous partners and girls in his life who he deems have kind of leached off his relevance because, you know, he's such a relevant guy. And that's the thing with Mizkif when he's trying to play into all these jokes. He's playing into jokes about his own behaviour, so there is always going to be a level of realism and actuality underneath all that.
And you're really here to steal my scraps? You can't go to anyone else?
MPTKS.
React to LSF for the past 24 hours. No, thank you. I'm in a court case. I would be delighted not to do that.
Mizkif's comment here about not actually taking a look at livestream fails on stream due to the whole court case that he's currently involved in with asmongold, Emiru and OTK, I think really juxtaposes his recent behaviour on streams, where he really hasn't been tight-lipped when it comes to certain things that he definitely should not be saying that will definitely impact his lawsuit against them. I'll take what I'm about to say with a huge pinch of salt, as this can never be proven and will never be proven, but I think it's a giant likelihood that somebody on Mizkif's defence in this lawsuit has spoken directly to him about calling off with the things that he says on stream, especially with the huge reaction one of his previous streams got, to the point asmongold made a comment about how bad he feels for those lawyers that are actually defending Mizkif and involved in the lawsuit. I do think it's a possibility that someone has pulled Mizkif to the side and told him that, you know, he really needs to cool off with the things that he is citing on his streams, as they look bad when it comes down to the court case. And I actually wouldn't be too surprised if it was actually that asmongold clip that did it, seeing as he is the person that is also in the lawsuit.
I miss you. Don't let some drama get you down. It doesn't. Trust me, I'm okay.
Again, this is going to seem like an insane nitpick here, but I love how he just treats it like it's casual drama that he's currently involved in. Not like these are life-ruining accusations that he's currently facing, that he is taking to court alongside somebody like asmongold and OTK as a whole. It feels like it's something that is genuinely just not drama.
You should stream on the main at regular hours like normal people have goldfish memories. Yeah, but I don't.
Ew.
I'm fully convinced that his entire chat is actually gay-upping him now, because there is no way that you've told Mizkif that people have goldfish memories when it comes to a situation like this, when ultimately people are still talking about it, it's still incredibly relevant, and Mizkif is in an ongoing lawsuit to do with said situation. It's still fresh in everybody's minds, and that lawsuit is going to keep it fresh in everybody's minds. Nobody's forgetting about the situation anytime soon.
She is your spreadsheet, 100p.
What's that? What's that?
I don't know, Extra Emily fucking has a spreadsheet of like Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, and Nixon and all the Cupids and Comets that she fucked in the ass during college, and people got mad at her because she leaked it to Cutie Cinderella, and Cutie Cinderella flipped a fucking shit. And she did one of her 35 crying streams of the day where she freaked the fuck out.
Stop.
This wasn't Mizkif's first dig at Cutie Cinderella in the stream, and it definitely wasn't his last dig at Cutie Cinderella in this stream. It genuinely seemed like he's pretty butthurt that he wasn't included in any capacity with the stream rewards. He mentioned the stream rewards in this stream several times. It seems like that's something that was really getting on his nerves. I don't know what he really expected here. Of course, he wasn't going to be invited to the stream rewards to be nominated for anything. Of course, the category of worst Twitch response doesn't actually exist, otherwise Mizkif would have won that immediately. Like, I don't necessarily disagree with him when he's joking about Cutie Cinderella and the stream rewards being shit, because they are shit, and Cutie Cinderella is a criticizable person who should be critiqued. But it's funny when it's coming from Mizkif, somebody who is in a 10 times worse position than anybody he's joking about, and realistically, should he be joking about other Twitch streamers in this current position? I think for him, it would be better for him to just keep his mouth shut.
I don't want you, like, saying stuff and then it gets on and, like...
It's nice that she cares, but it is genuinely a bit too late for that.
Dude, she's not going to be the next Michaela. And
Who's Michaela? Who's Michaela?
Oh, we're not running off stream for that?
Why?
Oh no, I said too much.
Wait, why? I don't... Oh my fucking god. Why did you... Okay, don't read.
No, Michaela's Tyler with his girlfriend.
One N. You don't need to get you don't need to get surgery on your chin, you can just get filler.
No, she could not. She had a huge chin.
Dude. Worry about yourself.
I do find it just incredibly amusing that Mizkif genuinely can't keep his mouth shut, and can't keep his mouth shut about people that if he talks about is going to make him look 10 times worse. Why he thought name dropping any of these people would be a good idea is actually beyond me. Seems like at the moment Mizkif is walking an incredibly fine line and working said fine line. He knows that certain things he's going to say are going to get clipped up, and I think he's embraced that, but he's also been clearly advised not to say certain things so he doesn't make himself look worse.
Listen to your PR, Miz. Do you think I have PR, bro? After all these years, do you
You're
think
a PR nightmare.
And you are rude.
You are a PR nightmare.
Yeah. I know it doesn't matter if it's EU chat. This is wild. It's 2 o'clock. I would not have this viewers normally on my main stream. Like, what the fuck's this? And you can't be like, oh, dude, you're canceled. Like, that's why we're here. It's been fucking a month and a half. Like, what's going on?
Genuinely, I wouldn't put it past Mizkif to have no type of PR whatsoever. Secondly, I think it's hilarious that he says this has nothing to do with him being quote-unquote cancelled, getting this viewership because of how long it's been, when ultimately his most recent streams have been circulating like crazy because of the things he said on them. So yeah, you're going to have an increased viewership because people want to see you crash out again and say out-of-pocket things.
I don't read chat. I just make shit up all the time, so that way they think I'm reading them. You can't read what they say, because if you read what they say, they think they're trying to get information out of you, Jennifer. That's all they're doing. They're not there to be your friend. They're there to talk shit and get information. Think of them as the press. You just walked out. You're fucking.
They're not trying to be my friend.
They're the press, and they're trying to get information. There's Schizo Boy 647 from Livestream Pills, 2,000 upvotes. Hey Jennifer, what do you think would happen with this recent controversy about Mizkif? You still friends?
Firstly, Mizkif just told a bold-faced lie there. Ultimately, Mizkif has been reading from the chat, not only in this stream, for example, but in his previous recent streams. I hope he's kind of joking there, otherwise the comment that he made is bordering on insanity. It's funny. Secondly, Mizkif isn't wrong. The people in the chat here are going to be poking and prodding for comments because Mizkif is currently involved in high relevant accusations. I find it funny that he's self-aware here, and even outside of the times he's just clip farming, ultimately he's put his foot in it when he's reading chat several times recently, so I think it's funny that he's saying this out loud. Those have been the recent updates to do with Mizkif. At the time we're recording, the only things that Mizkif is currently doing is deciding to call out a bunch of random people, mainly people related to the stream rewards, out on his accounts because, you know, that's going to do great for him and his PR. But those are all the updates for now. I'll be very interested to see what you, the viewer, has to say about this, so please feel free to comment down below. And whilst you're there, you might also subscribe, especially if you have been updated on the Mizkif situation and you want to know more Mizkif updates in the future. Don't forget to smack that notification bell. But I've been Samuel, you've been watching Slot Meal, and I'll catch you in the next YouTube video. Goodbye.